Well, it's nice to be here. I work for T-Systems, which is part of Deutsche Telekom. So you can see maybe the corporate color here in my dress. And I'm from the Netherlands, as you can see on the picture. We love our flowers. And I'll show you in the next slide what a tulip is all about. Deutsche Telekom, probably you know, is a big company of, I think, 230,000 people worldwide. In T-Systems International, 37,000. And T-Systems Netherlands is approximately 500 people. So just to give you some context. Well, what I would like to share with you today is 5 reasons why we introduced my TSNL app. Also 7 factors that made it a success so far. We're 5 months ahead. Combining the on and offline world in a smart way, at least we believe it's a smart way, and 7 conclusions. And we took a sign for my TSNL, which is the magenta tulip. And I come back to that in a minute why we choose that one. Well, as has been said before, we are also going to this organization transformation in T-Systems Netherlands. And since January 2017, we have a new managing director, and he was just one of his first things he did was setting a new strategy. And it's called the Road to Success 2020, Road to 2020. Part of that strategy is also a cultural program we are running now since almost a year. And there are 4 main chunks in this strategy, which is client focus, it's culture and leadership, which has been mentioned before as well. It is portfolio and profiling, and since January 2018, we also have a part which is called organization. Our internal audience consists of 3 big main groups, which is one big group, which is focusing on a customer and don't feel really part of T-Systems Netherlands as a company. Then we have people who bother about local clients. And then we have a part of our population is hosted staff. They are a employee of the legal entity T-Systems Netherlands, but they work internationally. So that's why we choose the magenta tulip, just to have something that people could identify with, because one big thing we have in common, that we are all employees of the legal entity called T-Systems Netherlands. So that's where the magenta tulip came from. It's also strengthened the offline change activities, because the culture program, as I said, also has a strong offline component. There's all kinds of things going on in the company, which is face-to-face or in town halls or other opportunities where we meet. And then we thought it would be really cool to have a channel which is really kind of strengthening that part. It's also to encourage and enable our people to interact in the outside world. And that's maybe a little bit contradictory, because you would think that an employee app is an internal channel. But we thought, how cool is it that you have it in your pocket, that you can act and interact with people outside of the company as a salesperson, because our MD said we're all sales, full stop. And as a recruiter, that's what we thought later on. How cool would it be if people are interacting and standing at a hockey field in the morning on Saturday, hey, would you be interested to work for a company? That you have all your information just in your pocket. And also to be proud ambassadors. Because we have an employee survey running, I think, a couple of times per year. And then we noticed that our people are not so proud of the company. Which is not good, of course, because if you're not proud, you're not talking about your company in a positive way. Doesn't lead to sales. It's not really motivating to attract people to come to work for a company. So we thought we have to change that. We also need to provide a platform to engage, exchange, and have fun with colleagues. And it's just cool stuff. Future is mobile. And we call the hashtag proud to be T a lot nowadays. There's also 7 factors that made it a success so far, because we're only 5 months ahead. The timing. Because the culture program was already running, I think, for a couple of months, and they were about to roll this out to the entire company. And at that time, we were ready with the app. So there were some cultural workshops running through the company, or all employees were invited to participate. And what we could see in the back is that in the nice dashboard, that after finishing every single workshop, we had more people signing up and registering for the app. And also it's strengthening. I'll come back to that later because I've got some practical use cases for you later on to show what kind of features we used in the app to do this. We had a pilot with friendly users, and we started with the talents. And how nice is that you have something which others don't have and talk about it. So the next wave was with the leaders, and then later on we had a rollout to all the employees, which was, I think, in a time frame of 3 weeks. And for your information, we started in September with just setting up the whole thing, and on November 21st, we were live. We had a clear content strategy. We still have. We have news. We have a social wall, which is often and really kind of something that people like and post a lot. We have special channels, also an HR channel. Who, by the way, is from HR in the audience? Okay, 4, 5. We have special campaigns. I will have an example later on. And we use it for event support. So the first thing, which was really cool, when we had the talents and they could sign up for the app, they had a face-to-face meeting. And we uploaded the agenda for them, and also you can just make a link to Google Maps where they had to go to, and they could find all the information. So they were like, okay, this is really, really nice to have. And it was just supporting their event from the beginning, because they also had the assignment to think about digitization and new things for the company as being the talent group. Strong management support, it's our tool. Our MD, he was so proud of the app before it was even live that he was there just making himself really look good. He was at a managing director meeting somewhere in Barcelona, and then he showed the app. So all the other MDs were like, hey, this is what I want too. So it's really nice if you have strong management support and you can make them look good. It really helps you to position it in a positive way. It's easy to use and quick adaptation of new ideas. It's really cool stuff to work with as a communicator, because the plugins that are available, you can just think of how to use it and how to implement it, and it can be done in a quick way. And it's also continuous focus on relevant content and functionality, because you can put the system or the platform in place once, but then for communicators, it's only starting, because you have to make it attractive to come back for people. I also have some facts and figures for you. We have 89% of our people is registered. 76% of this registered unique users is active per week. We have over 50% of users looking the app on a daily basis. We have 295 plus posts since the start, and then we had 688 comments and likes. Is it a lot? I don't know, because if you look at the population, but if you look at the numbers of the active users per week, we are really, really happy with that. So what did we do in combining on and offline in a smart way? This is an overview of our use cases. I will go into a little bit more in depth with you about Portfolio Your Pocket, Recruit Your Own Colleague, Proud to be T social wall. That's something I don't have a particular slide about, but this is really, really something that people like. And it's also the reason why they come back again, and again, because they just want to see what others are posting. And the thing is that it's not that they post kind of personal things, they post personal things, but it's all work related. So you can see I'm here at an event for whatever. I think Sven, you will post like that I'm here now on the social wall, like, hey, look what Marielle is doing. But that's what people do, and they like it. And sometimes they say, oh, I'm at that conference as well. Shall we hook up or shall we meet? So that's really nice to see. Also, the practical information at hand. We have some location channels as well that you only can sign up for if you are part of the Amsterdam office. You only see the information which is relevant for the particular location, but you can also sign up for information for other locations. And also what we put in there, like the collective labor agreement, you can also see there. Because if you're just at home and you think, how many days do I get off just to move houses? It's really easy to have that at hand. So we thought, okay, what do want people, just when they are at home or wherever they are, what kind of information do they need? Because we only have office workers. The average age, by the way, is 45 plus. So it's not that using the social wall, for instance, is only for young people. Our people like it as well. So it's just maybe good to keep in mind that it's not only for, I don't know what kind of age, but it's really kind of people, all kinds of people have their mobile at hand all the time. So it's also just maybe something to keep in the back of your head. Where to meet, we have an event calendar. Like I said, the face-to-face meetings are really important for the whole program as well. So here you can see an overview, where to meet, what's the next meeting, etc. We have corporate news, so you're always up to date. Portfolio pocket, we're all sales. That's what our MD always says. And then people say, I'm not sales, I'm in operations. Yeah, you're all sales. So what we did is Portfolio Academy. As I said before, like portfolio and profiling is one of the main pillars of the strategy. So we have portfolio academies, which is face-to-face meetings, which is mandatory for everyone. If you're a receptionist, a floor manager in operations or in sales, doesn't matter, you have to go there. Because our ICT portfolio is not so easy to comprehend. That's why we thought it's easy, or it's better just to explain people briefly what it's all about. And we only focus on the 7 or 8 portfolio elements or portfolio families we actively push in the Dutch market. So what we do in the app is Portfolio Pocket. So in the old days, which was July last year, we gave them a piece of paper with a kind of handout, you know, like, this is what you've heard today. Blah, blah, blah. Now we say all information you've heard today is in the app, including videos, presentation, the concept of the experts, concept of sales. So it's all there. So if you're talking to a person, you say, okay, shall I just have a look what it's all about? Then you can say dynamic SAP, you just go there, maybe there's a movie, the latest customer presentation, it's all there. The next one, maybe it's interesting for HR, recruit your own colleague. Our MD was just saying, we're spending lots of money to find the right people in the marketplace, lots of money. And we have a policy in place which is called recruit your own colleague. You get some money if you manage to get a person in who actually has to stay at least 3 months. That's a requirement. But then we said, okay, recruit your own colleague. If you're enthusiastic about your organization, then you can say here, what you see in the app, you see all the TSNL job opportunities you have in your pocket. You can also go to the global job search platform. You say, are you interested to work in Berlin for Deutsche Telekom or MMS in Dresden? That's also fine. You can just look it up and you can share the particular vacancy with the person you're talking to. And what we use for that is a page including videos. We upload a presentation. We have the policy there. So what's in it for you? That's also important to make clear to people. We have a link to the job search platform, which is the Deutsche Telekom one, and the vacancies in TSNL in the context of HR. We also have these special target group channels very quickly, which is talents. Like I said before, they have their own news channel and also their own social wall. The same goes for the leadership. For instance, this is more sensitive information, which is not something you would like to share with the broader population, but you like to give it in a simple way to the leaders who can actually use it for questions they get from their teams. I do it again, which is really stupid. Well, 7 conclusions. My TSNL works to get people into action because it's nice to be well informed, but at the other hand, the ultimate goal of communication is to get people into movement. At least that's my personal opinion and also the way I look at communication. And you can see here also for HR that they said since we use it also to communicate about certain policies or whatever, we see that there are more people making use of it. It's easy, like I said, to realize ideas because as a communicator, it's nothing more fun than just thinking, how cool would it be? And that you have it in place 2 days later. So based on the plugins, you think of an idea and it's easy to realize it based on the Staffbase plugins that are available. But we also see that people are keen to provide content, even from the delivery department we have. They say, I have a cool story to share. Would you like to upload it? So it's easier also for marketing and communication to do your work, because people, normally you really have to kind of pull and ask again and again and again for people to come up with their stories. But now they come to you and they say, okay, can you help me to upload it and to make it a cool story to share? Also, kind of what we said, let people free to publish on the social wall. Not too many regulations, just see what happens, because people kind of, they have the internal kind of feeling what's appropriate and what's not. So we just left it open, and what we see is that people use it kind of in a normal way, at least what we consider to be a normal way in the Netherlands, which is, I don't know if it goes for everyone. It shows guts. Don't be afraid to try something new, like I said with the Works Council thing. And also, just to conclude, what we did as T-Systems Netherlands, because we saw a need for ourselves. We didn't do it top-down. In Deutsche Telekom, we have other tools which we are supposed to use, which are not kind of useful for our community, because mainly it's in German. So people are kind of, I don't know, they don't go there because, and it's also too big to see what you're looking for. We have our intranet, locally we had our push newsletters, email newsletters, and sometimes you're really working on content which is already 2 weeks old. So that's why we were a little bit obstinate here and say, okay, we just go for ourselves, and here start small, but start helps, because it's kind of contagious for others, because they see that it works and they're curious. So, and I would say #ProudToBeT. That's what I really, really like about this My T is Now app. So thank you.